Greetings, citizens of the interweb, it's Matt from Hydro Gaming here this week to present a new video showcasing our single-player medieval fantasy RPG that we're creating using the power of the Unreal Engine. Today's episode is a remake of the original episode 6 from a year and a half ago, which was completely unwatchable. You know the drill at this point. If you're new to the series, we're going to go through and re-record the first 12 episodes because they were just so bad. Like, across the board, the audio, the visuals, the scripts, the jokes, all of it just terrible. Anyways, in today's episode, we're adding guns to the game. Yes, you heard me correctly, guns are indeed being added to our medieval-themed game. We'll go over why that is later in the video, but for now, just know that our game actually takes place in the future. We'll also be covering how weapons actually appear in the game, with regards to their placement on the player character. Next, we'll be looking at the animations for our locomotion when the player has a gun equipped and how we set that up. We have a quick little channel announcement to make as well, but we'll save that for the end of the video. And finally, for this week's shoutout, we're doing something very special for a new up-and-comer here on YouTube, and I hope you'll show them all the same love and support you've been showing me. So, with all that being said, let's jump into this week's video. Roll the intro. I'm guessing if you're new to the series, you're probably wondering why there are guns in our medieval-themed game. Well, without getting into the lore behind the game too much, we'll save that for separate episodes, our game actually takes place in the future. Years of war and strife have essentially driven humankind back to the Dark Ages, but remnants of the old world still remain. Beyond that, years of radiation and mutation have spawned a world and fauna that can be as dangerous as they are beautiful. What better way to defend yourself than a rocket launcher or a machine gun from ages long past? If you want to hear more about the story of the world of Vestia, you can check out episode 1 in the series, but for today, we've got guns to talk about. So first and foremost, so I don't steal credit from other developers, we're purchasing our gun models from Dead Ghost Interactive on the Unreal Engine Marketplace. I'm not much of a 3D artist, and I want to be as transparent as possible anytime I use Marketplace assets. So this gun pack is great because all the models are already rigged and set up for 3D animations, like reloading, firing, all that good stuff. That way, I don't have to do it myself, and I can focus on more important things like finishing the quest system, and finally changing the impossible to read in-game font, which I promise you will see updated soon. So there you have it, guns have been added to the game as usable items, and at this point in the game creation process, we hadn't gotten to the point of adding weapon firing to the game, and we didn't get to that point until about episode 9. Now a quick warning, if you do want to see what weapon firing looks like in the game, you can watch episode 9 from a couple years ago, which is available to watch today. However, those older episodes are really bad, so I'm just going to add in a clip of the weapon firing here so you don't have to watch it. Gorgeous. And now, we can shoot the gun. And just a little extra for you. Content for a future video. While I'm aware that our game isn't really grounded in reality by any means, I do think that a splash of realism here and there really goes a long way. One place I've decided to integrate a hint of realism is in the way weapons appear on the character when they're unequipped. I find quite a few games, more than you would think, have this weird habit of turning weapons invisible when the character unequips them. Looking at you, GTA 5. Does Fortnite do this too? I honestly don't know. I prefer the approach taken in games like Mass Effect or Skyrim, where you can actually see the badass weapon you have equipped. I feel like showing off your weapon should be no different than showing off your cool armor, so I don't want them turning invisible just because you're not holding them. So the way we do this is by creating sockets on our character's skeleton that have the weapon mesh spawn on them at the end of the player's unequip animation. Just as the animation for putting a weapon away ends, a tag will trigger telling our blueprint to move whatever weapon the character is currently using to the appropriate slot on their body. For swords, that would be their waist. For things like guns or shields, it would be on their back. So for our gun animations, and pretty much every other character animation in the game, We're going to be going with Kubald's Anim Set Pro Packs, which are available on the UE marketplace. They are very high quality animations, and they fit our game perfectly. In future episodes, you may have noticed that we began blending Kubald's animations with the ALS movement system, but Kubald's animations are very much still used in the game, so it's important that we give him credit nonetheless. So, like in previous episodes where we have our characters switch between moving states, like cycling between walking and crouching for example, this works in pretty much the same way, where our character switches from an unarmed animation set to the gun animation set, based on whether or not our gun is actually equipped. Pretty straightforward stuff, and I think it doesn't look half bad. Okay, it's time for a quick channel announcement. In an effort to stay relevant in the world of YouTube, we are taking the channel in a revolutionary new direction and making shorts now. I know it's a little crazy to think about, and I don't want everyone getting too excited about it. I just thought I'd let you know. Our first short is already up, and you can go check it out on our channel's main page. But don't go yet, because we have a very special shoutout for this week. So this week's shoutout is a pretty big one. This week, we're sending out some love to our friend Ethan Howells, who is only 10 years old and already has his own YouTube channel. He records, edits, and uploads all of his own videos and is currently creating content on Fortnite. I'll throw a link to his channel down in the description below so you can hop over to his channel and show some support. In addition, Ethan will get his very own character in Knightwatch. That's right, Ethan will be serving as second in command of the Merchant Hub under Ruben Atkin. As Ruben's second in command, Ethan oversees the day-to-day activities of the nearby shops, ensuring shipments come in on time, workers are paid a fair wage, and merchants are abiding by the rules set out by the Merchant Guild. You can usually find him managing his own shop at the Edenvale Merchant Hub, where he sells exotic goods brought in from around the world by the many seafaring vessels you can find docked at Edenvale's port. Ethan, we wish you all the best in your future as a YouTuber and can't wait to see where your channel goes from here. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up today's video. If you want to have an NPC, weapon, or piece of armor named after you in the game, all you need to do is comment down below any cool ideas you have for Knightwatch. It could be a quest, a location, an item, etc., and add the word weapon, NPC, or armor to your comment. If your idea gets selected, then you'll be immortalized in the world of Knightwatch. If you know that your idea has already been selected but you haven't seen yourself come up in a video yet, don't worry, it's on its way. I just have a lot of names to work through. Let me know if you want me to make a video dedicated to naming NPCs and items after viewers. Hey, maybe that's a good idea for a short. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. You know, all the things. And ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss any new Knightwatch content. And with all that being said, I will see you in the next video.